Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Lakers repeatedly failing to meet steep price for Anthony Davis's wish, report. The Los Angeles Lakers have been trying to grant Anthony Davis's wish to play with a center next to him. Their trade target list includes Utah Jazz center Walker Kessler. However, Shams Charania of ESPN reported that Utah's asking price for Kessler is too rich for their blood. They've tried to get Walker Kessler many times, they have not been able to meet that steep price, Charania said on NBA Countdown before the Lakers took down Golden State Warriors 118-108 on Saturday, January 25. I'm sure they will keep trying. The 23-year-old Kessler is having a breakout season, averaging 11.3 points on 73.3% field goal shooting, 11.4 rebounds, 2.4 blocks, and 1.3 assists, all best marks of his young NBA career. He ranks 7th in rebounding and 2nd in blocked shots per game. In December, Michael Scotto of Hoops Hype reported that the Jazz's asking price is at least 2 first-round picks. Teams gauging Kessler's availability in Utah have come away with the sense that it'll take at least 2 first-round picks to pry him from the Jazz, a high asking price in their eyes, Scotto wrote at the time. The Lakers have only 2 first-round picks, 2029 and 2031, available. Former Warriors general manager Bob Myers explained on the NBA Countdown how tough the situation is for Rob Pelinka, the Lakers' vice president of basketball operations and general manager. Of course, Rob is trying to do a deal, but that's just 20% of getting a deal, Myers said. It's just one thing to do a deal, getting the deal done, and once you do that, give up that first-round pick we're talking about, that's it. There's no more off-season deal. You got one shot at this thing. So, that's why now I think it's harder to do deals in the NBA than ever before. The usually mild-mannered Davis made his long-desired wish to play the power forward next to a center public for the first time. I think we need another big, Davis told Charania. I feel like I've always been at my best when I've been the 4, having a big out there. We know it worked when we won a championship with JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard at the 5 and I'm at the 4. Davis enjoyed his best season with the Lakers during that championship run, finishing 6th in the MVP voting and 2nd in the Defensive Player of the Year race. McGee was the Lakers' starting center in 68 games during the regular season and 11 games in the playoffs. Davis believes he could be more effective as a power forward than center. I only started playing 5 in 2021, Davis continued. I have stretches but I was primarily 4. My whole career, I've been playing the 4 and we've seen how I play, I just feel like a little bit more effective. But the Lakers have failed Davis since their 2019-20 championship run. I told them that every year since I've been here, so it's nothing new, Davis told reporters after their January 23 win over the defending champion Boston Celtics. By making it public, Davis put more pressure on Pelinka to make his move. Dallas Mavericks signed 7-foot former Lakers center to fill gaping hole. The Dallas Mavericks' seemingly never-ending stretch of bad luck when it comes to injuries continued on Saturday afternoon, as Maxi Kleber went down with a foot fracture. Dallas was already without several players in this game against the Boston Celtics, including Najee Marshall, Luka Doncic, Dante Exum, Dwight Powell, and Derek Lively too, and Kleber going down in that game caused an undeniable hole that had to be fixed quickly. Jason Kidd said he has never seen anything like it when it comes to Dallas injury luck, and talked about how there is a major hole at that spot that isn't gonna get any better, so, we'll see. The Mavericks have a game tomorrow against the Washington Wizards, and after Kleber went down on Saturday, it didn't take the team long to find a new big to hold down the paint until Powell, Lively too, and Kleber returned to the hardwood. The Mavs announced that they signed 7-foot center Kyler Kelly to a 2-way contract while waiving Jazian Gortman on Sunday evening, and now we know who will be playing behind Daniel Gafford moving forward. Kelly spent time with the South Bay Lakers of the G League this season and averaged 9.2 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 1.7 blocks per game. He also played for the Los Angeles Lakers during training camp and preseason of this year. Kelly looks to be the perfect candidate to play center for the Mavericks moving forward, and his skill set will not be much of an adjustment for Dallas role players to get used to. He is a good lob catcher, a stellar rim protector, and a good athlete, and those are all things that have helped Gafford and Lively II be so successful in the Mavs system. Dallas center spot has been a major strength over the last year with both Gafford and Lively II playing at an elite level, but due to Lively II and Kleber's recent injuries happening way too often, it was clear that they needed to bring someone else in. Some Mavericks fans begged for the team to sign Jamarian Sharp to fill this hole, and while Kelly doesn't have the same 7'5" frame that Sharp does, it's still a major plus that he is a 7-footer. Kelly will immediately become the second tallest player on the team behind Lively II, and his immense size will help the Mavericks right away. He will be able to plug right in when it comes to the way that Dallas plays on both ends of the floor, and a new body in the center room should help ignite some much-needed energy into the lineup. Mavericks fans could have their first chance at seeing Kelly in action on Monday evening against the Wizards, and he'll have a great mentor to learn behind over the next few weeks in Gafford. Gafford has been playing some of the best basketball of his career recently, and now Dallas has some size and athleticism to play behind him. Gafford's energy has been at an all-time high recently, and him not having to shoulder as big of a load should help him continue to bring this type of energy. Kelly could end up having a major role right away considering that he and Gafford are the only two healthy bigs on the roster, and he could turn into a household name in this league if he takes full advantage of this golden opportunity. Latest report on potential De'Aaron Fox, Lakers trade. The Sacramento Kings have been expected to make a major move this season, and with less than 2 weeks ahead of the February 6 trade deadline, talks will continue to heat up. The Kings have been linked to many standout forwards as they look to upgrade their wing depth, and have reportedly even been sending out a package of Kevin Huerter, Trey Lyles, and draft capital to teams in trade talks. One interesting facet ahead of the trade deadline has been the availability of star point guard De'Aaron Fox, who would be eligible for a Supermax contract extension this offseason if he earns All-NBA honors. It would be no surprise if opposing teams are calling the Kings front office to check in on Fox, but it ultimately comes down to whether Sacramento is looking to keep him or capitalize on his trade value. The Athletic's Jovan Buha reports that there is uncertainty around Fox's availability in regards to the Los Angeles Lakers being a potential suitor. There's a lot of uncertainty about how available he actually is, Buha said. There's some uncertainty about would they even trade him to the Lakers, their bitter rival. It is very unlikely the Kings ship out Fox at the trade deadline, especially to their division rival. Fox is in an odd slump as he deals with a couple of lingering injuries. The Kings are 3-3 in their last 6 games, and Fox is averaging just 16 points on 31.8% shooting in that span. Fox has been a turning point for the Sacramento franchise since getting drafted in 2017, becoming one of the top players in Kings history. While eventually, it may be time to move on, the Kings are certainly better off with their star point guard leading the way. NBA announces punishment after Lakers-Warriors game. NBA announces punishment after Lakers-Warriors game. The Los Angeles Lakers defeated the Golden State Warriors 118-108 on Saturday night at Chase Center. These two Pacific Division rivals also faced off on Christmas, with Los Angeles securing a 115-113 victory. This was the 25th regular season head-to-head matchup between LeBron James and Steph Curry. Tallying 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 12 assists in Saturday's win, James is now 13-12 in his NBA career against Curry. That said, the Warriors star does hold a 17-11 advantage over James in playoff games. While much focus was on the James-Curry battle, it was Lakers star Anthony Davis who led all scorers with 36 points. After the game, the NBA announced a punishment for a play involving Davis. Fouled by Golden State Warriors center Kevin Looney with 3:05 remaining in the first quarter, Davis went to the free throw line for 2 shots. The NBA has since upgraded this to a flagrant one, punishing Looney with his first penalty point of the season. Kevin Looney's GSW foul against Anthony Davis, LAL, at 3:05 of first QTR on January 25, 25 has been upgraded to a flagrant one after league review, the NBA announced on Sunday. The NBA follows a penalty points system that makes this ruling significant, even after the game's completion. A flagrant one, which Looney was assessed, is worth 1 penalty point. After 5 penalty points, a player receives a 1-game suspension, hat tip Yahoo Sports. This is the first penalty point Looney has accumulated this season, via Fox Sports. Looney played 10 minutes in the loss to Los Angeles, tallying 2 rebounds and 0 points. Maverick signed center from Lakers G League affiliate amid injury predicament. The Dallas Mavericks were in need of some frontcourt depth, as Maxi Kleber fractured his foot in Saturday's loss to the Boston Celtics. That joined a rash of injuries to the center rotation, as Derek Lively too has a stress fracture in his ankle and could be out until the playoffs, and Dwight Powell has a hip strain but hasn't had a timeline announced yet. In an effort to give the team another capable body at center behind Daniel Gafford, Dallas made a series of moves on Sunday afternoon, releasing Jazian Gortman from his 2-way contract and signing Kyler Kelly to a 2-way deal. Kelly is a 7 feet 0 inches center who has been bouncing around the G League and some other professional leagues since he went undrafted out of Oregon State in 2020. He's most recently played for the South Bay Lakers, the LA Lakers G League affiliate, but has also been with the Maine Celtics, Raptors 905, and Austin Spurs in the G League since 2021. His other stops include the Calgary Surge of the Canadian Elite Basketball League, the Bakken Bears in Denmark, and the London Lions of Super League Basketball. Some thought the Mavericks would call up Jamarian Sharp, who played with the team in the Summer League and preseason, but they chose to go with Kelly instead. Kelly was averaging 9.2 ppg, 5.8 rpg, 1.8 apg, and 1.7 bpg with South Bay before getting picked up by the Mavs. His passing upside likely intrigues Dallas, as their offense features a lot of dribble handoffs. He'll see pretty significant playing time immediately unless we see PJ Washington get some minutes as a small 5. Gortman's tenure in Dallas comes to an unfortunate end after shining in the preseason, but he hasn't seen any minutes recently despite all of the injuries, while the other 2-way signees, Kessler Edwards and Brandon Williams, have. He appeared in 16 games this season but hadn't played for the Mavs since January 3 before Saturday's loss, a game he saw just 2 minutes of playing time. Latest report on potential De'Aaron Fox, Lakers trade. The Sacramento Kings have been expected to make a major move this season, and with less than 2 weeks ahead of the February 6 trade deadline, talks will continue to heat up. The Kings have been linked to many standout forwards as they look to upgrade their wing depth, and have reportedly even been sending out a package of Kevin Huerter, Trey Lyles, and draft capital to teams in trade talks. One interesting facet ahead of the trade deadline has been the availability of star point guard De'Aaron Fox, who would be eligible for a Supermax contract extension this offseason if he earns All-NBA honors. It would be no surprise if opposing teams are calling the Kings front office to check in on Fox, but it ultimately comes down to whether Sacramento is looking to keep him or capitalize on his trade value. The Athletic's Jovan Buha reports that there is uncertainty around Fox's availability in regards to the Los Angeles Lakers being a potential suitor. There's a lot of uncertainty about how available he actually is, Buha said. There's some uncertainty about would they even trade him to the Lakers, their bitter rival. It is very unlikely the Kings ship out Fox at the trade deadline, especially to their division rival. Fox is in an odd slump as he deals with a couple of lingering injuries. The Kings are 3-3 in their last 6 games, and Fox is averaging just 16 points on 31.8% shooting in that span. Fox has been a turning point for the Sacramento franchise since getting drafted in 2017, becoming one of the top players in Kings history. While eventually, it may be time to move on, the Kings are certainly better off with their star point guard leading the way. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of De'Aaron Fox? Leave your opinion in the comments.